wins in a row and the Shinboner spirit is back. Back-to-back losses have put the spotlight on the new generation of baby bombers.
We believe that we let ourselves down.
Kevin Sheedy has never beaten Dean Laidley. In fact, the Roos have beaten Essendon in their last 5 clashes. So tonight, the super coach needs to pull a rabbit out of the hat.
It's going and going and going. That's what the doctor ordered.
Hello everybody, welcome to Friday Night Footy. The Kangaroos and the Bombers, 2 teams sitting on 3 wins, 3 losses. Tim Watson, do you reckon Kevin Sheedy would know that he's never beaten Dean Laidley?
I think he'd be very aware of that, Bruce. He is one coach that does follow his own coaching record very closely.
Well, if Laidley can win tonight, he'll be 5 and zip, and no one's done that to Kevin so far. Who have you picked out for the Kangaroos?
Well, Hamish McIntosh has been in sensational form this year. He's like a ruck rover out there. I don't know what he's been on over the summer months, but he is providing them enormous drive. Shannon Grant is getting back to his best form too, playing mostly as a forward inside that 50, and he's a very good one-on-one player. And Michael Frito, they've given him some enormous jobs. I think they'll throw the challenge at him again tonight, and he'll probably go to Scotty Lucas.
And some changes for the Bombers. Look down at number 43, Bashar Hooley, coming in for his first game, turns 19 tomorrow.
And big raps on this young man too, and we wish him all the best. Mal Michael will get one of the big jobs down back. He hasn't really hit his strap since he's come across to Essendon. He'll probably play on Petrie or maybe go to Brown. That will suit him tonight. Jason Windley, he'll probably get one of the midfield runners. I would think Harvey or maybe Wells. And James Hird. Well, James Hird hasn't hit his best form yet, but I think it's just around the corner.
There we go. It's almost obligatory these days.
Straight to the footy, guys, when you get your chance.
To both ends too, Dennis.
Yes, if you've tuned in late, this is not the Jerry Springer show.
And just looking at James Hird being picked up by Farito.
Why do they do this?
Just to get into a free kick.
I really knew the answer. Away we go. McIntosh knocked it down. Centre square infringement or something down the ground on the set.
Kick it down. Just kick it down, Andrew. You're right. Thanks, mate.
There's a free kick, and it's going the Kangaroos' way on the goal line. Brown will take the kick. McPhee was penalised. Brown kicks the goal. The first possession of the game, 6 points to the Kangaroos.
Great start for the Kangaroos. Plays just a little bit over the top. McPhee still remonstrating, and all the Kangaroos players will be letting him know about it. Just have a look. Here it is. Oh. Well, we know the head and the neck area is untouchable, but that is as soft as butter.
Why do you bother?
Ah, that is ridiculous.
Yeah, but why do you bother?
Gee, Fraser missed out giving a free kick. Gee. Well, anticlimax in a way, isn't it? Brown gets the goal, and McPhee would be ropeable. Can we restart? So 1 disposal, 1 goal to Lee Brown. The Kangaroos win the first little skirmish. Grant to Smith, who I thought was terrific last week. Simpson's kick around the body, not all that effective. Love it quick.
Oh, well done.
As always. Bad handball. Put Stanton under the pump. Gone. Back to Lovett. Decides to kick this time. Difficult ball. Archer, and coming in from the side and smacking into Archer, who's okay.
Wow.
And that's Pratt, and he's picked himself up as well.
Hold there, Elwood, hold! That was a train wreck.
So Watt wide and finds Wells.
Hold there, Jason.
Has been just in sparkling form in the last 3 or 4 weeks.
So to this young man, Swallow, going down towards half forward, ill-directed though. Pepperell gets in the road, wants to go. Stanton having a fine season. Hill needs an early touch, and he's got one across half back. Comes out wide. Monfries, the defensive side of the wing. You can see up ahead, Monfries goes down towards the 50. Didn't have a lot of options. Archer comes across on the angle in front of Lucas to take the mark. Glenn Archer.
Yours.
Farito enjoying a fine season. Can go to the outer side of the ground. A real chance now. Smith running down towards half forward. can settle and kick from about 63 metres. Plenty of distance. They've got their second. They didn't know his capabilities. They stayed off him.
Wonderful play there by the Kangaroos. They've got Archer dropping back in defence. He's playing on Monfries, and Monfries was up the ground. He got the ball out wide, and Smith, haven't seen a lot of him. Only played a handful of games, but gee, what a finish. Exciting stuff for the Kangaroos. They're up. They always start well. In fact, they've been in front at every quarter for the start of this year, and they're away again.
Stunning performance there by Smith. As Dennis said, they stayed off him.
Well, this contest here, well, Pratt is a very lucky boy. I don't know if you can say it's lucky, but he's landed on his back, and wow, that's commitment. That is commitment.
It's nothing for Archer, is it?
Oh,
does that every Tuesday and Thursday night. First goal for Smith in his career. Not a bad one to remember, I would have thought. On Friday night, Archer tries to bang his way through.
Got his hands.
So the Bombers need to reply. McVeigh got it. Well done, Ferrito. He's got the job on Hurd early by the look of it. How is Daniel Pratt, Ricky?
Doctor's been out to him a couple of times now. He's definitely got sore ribs, and they're waving to the bench. They'll just got to keep an eye on him for a few more minutes just yet.
McIntosh front spot.
wow. That was a big collision.
Ferrito over it. In trouble here, the Kangas. Well,
No one dragged it in.
no one dragging it in.
Centre clearances and the work around the centre of the ground will be super important with Essendon. A lot of talk about how slow and maybe not getting their hands on the footy first. I'm sure Kevin Shetty will want them to get first use.
Hill hurriedly down towards full forward. Gibson got a boot in there. Jason Johnson, 30 possessions last week, robbed of it this time. Falling to the ground, Wells, that was clever. Over the top, Rawlings. McIntosh out of defence then, ill-directed. Peverill lays it off. McVeigh, normally an accurate kick, and this is a beauty. Bounced out of the hands of Johns. Love it. 60 metres out long. Gibson is going back. He'll mark it. 2 metres out. Can go over the top. Does. Smith, who got that wonderful running goal. Is a good kick. They should have known that. Another example. Harvey. In front, Edwards tracks it. Getting back, Peverill. So honest. Fumble from Cole. Harvey is through. Clever. Edwards still going. Well done, Ryder. Wants to go and does. Breaks away from half-back. Kicks towards midfield. Did love it. Taken by Hurd.
Got numbers back here, the Kangaroos.
Hurd. Short one. Bounces for Hill obligingly. 70 metres from goal. Lucas.
Well, he had to lead out wide. Kangaroos had the centre of the ground, or the centre of the 50, covered with numbers. Archer dropping back. Great tackle here by Paddy Ryder. And for a bloke who's only played a handful of games, Sheeds will be delighted with that.
Just one goal in the last 2 weeks for Lucas, but 27 goals in his last 5 matches here at the Dome. Started in sparkling form, coming back, good kick. Has it gone all the way? No, I think it might have been touched. No, it is a goal. Well, he does it so well, doesn't he, Ox? From outside the 50.
It's a beautiful finisher of the ball, Bruce. And he started off at centre half forward. Gibson went to him, so he thought, take him to the goal square, lead up on him. And a beautiful kick by Hill. He may have missed a little bit of footy, but one thing that David Hill can do is hit the target. Just put it out in front. And it was the only space that Lucas could lead to. Good setup.
So Lucas with the early goal for the Bombers to get one of the 2 back. Hill went earlier than McIntosh.
Head out of him, Andrew Welsh. Back around your mark, Welshie, back around your mark.
Well, he's picking up Simpson, who's been very, very dangerous.
So Hill again out on this half-forward flank as he was a moment ago.
About 70 metres from goal. Lobs one down towards the pocket. Well played by Gibson to knock it away from Lucas. Well played, Lucas. Oh, Lovett gets it across to support. Davey, ill-directed. Monfries comes back out and they'll regroup. McVeigh a chance to score.
Hill's becoming a very important player at the moment. Hamish McIntosh is just dropping off him.
Jason Johnson. Distance won't be a problem. 40 metres out, 45-degree angle. Made his debut against the Kangaroos, round 18, 1997. Terrific last week. Well, a little too team-orientated there. Davey perhaps should have gone with the left foot. They've got a point as a result of that foray into the forward line. Another poster. Gee, this season collectively, it's got to be a record, I'd suggest.
A couple of nines last week, weren't there?
It's taking your fancy, hasn't it, Dennis? You're right into the post at the moment.
Well, these stats, you got to keep abreast of them.
He just calls us as he sees it.
I know a poster when I see one, Bruce.
Smith at half back. Rawlings.
Oh.
Smith. Now Rawlings. Back to Smith. They've worked it okay. Back in board. Ferrito's been so impressive again this season. To the hot spot at centre half forward. McVeigh belts it away. Johnson caught. Has to get it out.
Oh.
Through it! He had plenty of time with the legal disposal, Jace.
Jones could just about get the distance here.
And he's going to go short, Ox. And Grant and Hurd. Hurd did very well. There's a slow kick coming in. And then Hurd finds Winderlick at centre half back. And now the Bombers with some run.
McVeigh to midfield. Johns came to meet it, left it behind. Knocks it forward. Harvey. Oh, well done once more. Davey. Blistering pace. Lucas lost it. Davey couldn't find a way through. Lucas spots a man in Winderlick, goes in that direction. Archer arrived quickly, timely fist. Smith got the crumb. Simpson comes away. Now for Rito at half back. Archer's the back. Kicks it up towards the wing. Peveril, well done. Ryder over the football, was taken front on. Then Edwards was taken high. Umpire lets them play. Peveril, clever kick. Winderlick, meters in the clear. Hill, this is his spot. Kicks inside the forward 50. Monfries. Angus Monfries, right full forward. Running back towards goal is Stanton. Monfries thought about it. There's Stanton.
Numbers
Campbell
back now.
right with him.
Hill causing a lot of problems just down in that half forward area. Suggest Dean Ladley makes a change.
This for the lead. Monfries' kick, not bad. Pushed across the line, no. Rawlings got the ball off hands. Ferrito, back to Rawlings.
Rawlings out wide to Petrie. I reckon that bit of play sums up the way they've played this year, the Kangaroos. A bit of dash from the back. Ryder's had a terrific start on Edwards. Done 2 or 3 colossal things already. Hurd getting plenty of it in the centre. Good kick. Spotted up. And Wellstrom just on the 50. Can he go all the way here?
This is just about on his limit, I'd suggest. Paddy Ryder, how exciting is he? Just coming through, taking the mark in front of Edwards.
Yeah.
Might have to get him back. Might have to get Edwards back to the square and take Paddy Ryder out of the play.
Well, Hurd's been important early. Hill, as you mentioned, has been important early. Welsh kicked a couple early against Hodge last week. He started the season playing defensively on Bassett and Adelaide, and it worked. He's just hooked it a bit going for that extra distance. It was never pretty off the boot, was it? And it's a behind.
No, it wasn't good contact.
Ferrito gets good contact towards the wing. Simpson is outnumbered, got it on the ground. Monfries was taken high, and he'll get the free kick. James Hurd has made a good start. 3 possessions, playing his 14th game against the Kangaroos. Over that time, he's averaged 16 possessions. That's the fewest against any club. Here's Watson. Lucas puts it in the corridor. They lead in all directions, the Bombers, and that was the problem. Stanton goes back after it, lays it off. This is Cole from 35 metres, and he's missed. Gee, they're wasting some opportunities. The margin is 3 points.
Beautiful kick there by Lucas into the fat side of the ground. Both players, just not enough talk. Probably 2 players haven't played a lot of football together. Needed just to...
Larch will be disappointed with that. Gibson just sitting and waiting, and Hill has had a sensational start. Coming back in. Hill played in the first 4 weeks of the season. The Bombers won 3 of those. Their only defeat against the Blues. They've lost 2 since he's been out.
Already taken 4 marks.
From 55. Strong kick. Misses again.
Wow.
Well, you just wonder at the end of the night whether we'll think back and say, if only.
I think the change has already been made. Drew Petrie's going to come down and pick up Hill, but he hasn't had an opportunity yet.
They keep on missing from gettable shots. Harvey back. Rawlings. Petrie under the pump.
Watson's got the free.
Started to go up a notch here, the Bombers. Wow.
And again, men open in that area. This is Winderlich.
7 marks inside 50 already for the Bombers.
Was that inside 50? 6.5, I reckon. A leg either side.
Well, he's crept up a little bit.
Winderlich.
Well, this is probably a little bit too far for Winderlich. He'll need to really get onto it. Does kick the ball well.
Well, deception, you see. Wound up and came with his slower ball. Welsh has got it about 40 metres out, and this is certainly more gettable.
He'll have no problem getting the distance on this occasion. We saw him on the last one. He actually hooked it trying to go for distance. He'll have no problem. Just be able to look at Scotty Lucas's last kick on this same angle. Can't compare these two boys, Scotty Lucas and Welsh, though.
And needs a good kick. 2 points the margin. This for the Bombers to lead by 4. It's working back, and he's missed. More easy misses than you'd find in Desperate Housewives right here. 1 point the difference, and a bevy of points from the Bombers.
Do you watch it? I do.
One of my favourites, Bruce. That Eva Longoria.
She came to the Melbourne Cup the year before last. It was a highlight.
Didn't go with me.
Mackay Diva, move over. Welsh to Watson.
Bruce.
Back to Lucas. In short. Clever by Stanton. Hill's having a night out. Goes bang and scores a level. How long since the Kangas have had it past the centre line?
Well, 11 inside 50s to 3 in favour of the Bombers, obviously, Bruce.
I asked you a question, Dennis. You don't know the answer.
Long time, Bruce. I'm on those stats. Don't worry about me. Farida around the outer side.
But what is demoralising, if the Kangaroos go down here and score a goal, all that hard work.
Here we go. Here we go, Bruce. Down towards the 50. Oh, well done. Right up.
Well,
Put a hand up. Gee, reminds me of a young Bill Dempsey, a great player in Western Australia. So many similarities. And he works well with Lovett.
50.
Watson inside the 50. Johnson threw himself at the football and took the mark. 45 metres out.
It's in the right part of the 50, though. Another mark inside. That's 8 now for the Bombers already in the first quarter.
Hooley is on the ground.
I feel like I'm flying the Channel 7 flag here, but Joe Watson's had 3 kicks tonight and they've all hit a target.
It's in the jeans.
Oh.
Johnson tugs it left, hasn't got the carry. Helped across the line. Behind. Wow.
Just built up the wall here, the Bombers. Very hard for the Kangaroos. They've got to have a restructure around the centre-half forward line. Paddy Ryder giving Edwards an absolute hiding at the moment.
Relentless pressure from Essendon. There's Wells. I think Archer in the pocket's the man.
Centre of the ground.
Only one they could get free. He kicks it well over the defensive 50. Petrie now a chance. They can build. This is Harris. Runs inside the centre square. Little chip going back. Jones. Wonderful concentration. Wonderful courage. Big guys were coming up behind. He was oblivious to all of that. He's taken the mark. 25 metres out. The very thing that David was talking about.
Well, the Bombers last 7 inside 50s. The result, 6 behinds. The Kangaroos, they'll come down. And now Jones can undo all that work.
Corey Jones. Normally very accurate. Gets the goal. Oh, that hurts.
Oh, does it ever.
I reckon McPhee owes him one. I mean, he's given the first free kick away. It might have been soft, and he just wasn't in the context there with Jones, was he?
No, he wasn't. He was waiting for someone to actually drift off, zone off. Petrie was the player that has been told to go and pick up Hill, so now Hill has to be accountable to Petrie. And they just got the ball in quick. Hale, who used his body just to protect the space and make sure Michael didn't make any impact on the contest. Really well sorted out there by the Kangaroo forwards.
He's a goal kicker as Jones. 12 this season, kicked 38 a couple of seasons back. 3 last week in the win over the Swans. And 4 against Port Adelaide. So 3 shots to 8, and the Kangaroos are in front. One of them with the opening kick of the match. Watson can't get the handball out. Swallow held him up. Wells held up by Hurd. Winderlick, Hurd, been busy, in trouble, gone, I think.
On the ball, went back into trouble, had a poor opportunity. Mark's there.
Swallow.
He's been impressive too since he's come into the side, Bruce.
Terrific in and under player. Hooked the kick. Oh, Harvey, clever.
You can't beat experience, can you? He knew where the player was, used his hip, he used his shoulder. He's not a big man, but he's pretty compact.
Jason,
and Peverill was no match in a one-on-one situation. Heard that, had plenty of opportunities to get rid of it. Here it is. Ever so subtle.
He's had a goal-kicking start to the season, Harvey. Just 17 goals last year. He's got 13 already this season. Kicks from 40 metres out, directly in front. He's an accurate kick, another one.
Talk about the most important thing in football. Yes, you can win the footy, you can get the footy, but it's when you got your shot on goal is the difference often between the two sides. We have a look at the scoreboard. 4 straight, 24-17. 8 shots on 4, and they're trailing by 11. He's a super player, Brent Harvey, in probably career best form at the moment too. Just getting better and better with each year.
Inside 50s favours the Bombers 12-5. With the scoreline 11 points the Kangaroos' way. Dean Laidley looking satisfied after dodging a few bullets. Stanton in trouble. Hand passes straight up in the air. Swallow. Well played. Tracks it down towards half forward. Very awkward for Grimmer. Then he got a kind bounce. Lays it off. In trouble. Swallow taken down. Immediately attracts the crowd and will have a ball up.
Locked in. Well done. Well battled. Rolled in Jono, so no free kick, not a problem.
McIntosh just on the bench after Hill's fantastic start to the game. And Grant also a bit of experience there, Dennis.
Yep. Bounce. 35 metres out then. Harris feeds it wide. Petrie goes back. Oh, well taken by the big guy. Lays it off. He's got support outside the 50. Pratt under pressure though. Ball slapped free. Hooley did well. A hand pass found Lovett. Lovett goes down towards half forward and Monfries. And that should be 50.
Trouble.
Oh, Glenn.
Glenn, no need, mate.
Well, he milked it too, Monfries, didn't he? He laid down, jumped straight up as soon as he heard the 50. Just silly there by Archer. He's an experienced footballer that should know that once a player has taken the mark, you cannot interfere with the contest.
Yeah, nothing to be gained by that. And just imagine what Laidley is feeling right here. 1-7 to 4 goals. Suddenly the Kangaroos running hot. Monfries comes in and gets one back against the tide.
Don't be surprised if the runner goes out and says, Glenn, just come off, have a rest, cool down. Unacceptable. You may be the most experienced footballer in our side, but you set examples. You're the player that the other ones look up to for an example.
I think he called him a sook.
Well, he did.
To Watson, some famous Bomber names here. To half forward, to Johnson, marked. One of the many blondes in the team. Comes back to Welsh. So a slower build-up, a careful build-up. Monfrey's on the end of it.
Oh,
Oh, it had to be a free, didn't it?
thought so.
Gee, not paid. And so Archer away to Ryder, who's been absolutely brilliant in the opening term.
Wobbles one inside the 50. Archer was pushed in the back, and he'll get the free. And the crowd will be displeased.
Well, and so they should be. Should have been a free kick to Monfries.
It was a marvellous kick to Monfries. That was centimetre perfect. Just dropped it over McIntosh's head. Archer for in the back towards the wing. McIntosh almost. That man Ryder again. Watson running out of space, puts it out of bounds. Kangaroos by 4. Let's get down to Ricky Olorenshaw.
Well, the Kangaroos are looking for a mismatch in their foreline. Lee Brown's come off the ground with Matthew Campbell, a small forward, going on, picked up by Mal Michael.
Rick down on the boundary, calling the shots for 2 of his old clubs. Winderlick, Peverill, Hooley just outside the 50. What was it with the Kangaroos? 15 minutes. Johns down towards the pocket. Gibson got fingertips to it. Wonderful balance. The key was staying on his feet. 2 parts to the equation. Pick it up. Ferrito taken down, holding the ball. Gibson might have done better to fall over.
Well, he would have, but wonderful pressure from a...
Oh, why? Scotty sold the dummy to his right foot. No one in the world would have bought that dummy.
Not even Scott.
I reckon Kevin wants to spit it out right now, that dummy, don't you?
Oh, my goodness.
For a clever footballer, that was...
He might have thought he was on the other side of the ground.
Do you think?
I don't know.
Strange one, but Lucas has looked very dangerous so far, but that's not going to hurt. Only the Bombers. Watt to centre wing. Is that 50 against Harvey?
Come on.
McPhee's had a forgettable opening term, but this will help.
Well, he waited and waited, McPhee, and he didn't know Harvey was behind him.
So just outside the range, Lucas the target.
Gee.
Ferrito, Gibson. Talking to Tim Watson before the match, he'd said that Gibson's reminding him a bit of Archer, just the way he's playing. And now the Kangaroos start to build. Harvey was on the end. Sinclair from Harris. High ball to full forward. Fletcher had a good long look, then got pushed in the back. No free kick. McVeigh comes across. And the Kangas do it again. For 7 consecutive weeks, they're in front at quarter time. It's 4 goals to 2 goals, 9.
In fairness to the Bombers, a few posters in the opening term. Glenn Archer gave away a 50 that resulted in a goal to Angus Monfries. Start of the second term, Friday night football. McIntosh and Hill renew hostilities. Hill wins it. Peverill in trouble. Hill's got it now. Clever. Into the path of Welsh, looking for a free kick. Winderlick looking for a way through. There wasn't one. Bounce.
Thank you. On the footy.
So Glenn Archer takes a seat. Swallow alongside. The past and the future right there. McIntosh, Rawlings. Harris out wide. Simpson towards half forward. From behind, Jones hands to it. Cole knocked it away, taken by Campbell. Hurriedly down towards the pocket. Michael did well. Backed himself, came out, took the mark, off to Lovett. Now Peverill.
To Fletcher. To set up to Hill, who's been on his own so often tonight. Yet again, probing kick inside 50. Lucas the target. Getting back was Ferrito. Down to you, Ricky Olorenshaw.
Yeah, well, the Kangaroos were in a fair bit of strife then. Glenn Archer went into defence and actually had 7 defenders. He quickly realised he was the closest to the interchange bench and he bolted off just before the siren sounded.
So did they have 1 man too many on the field, did they? So Arch, some confusion there.
That doesn't happen often.
Have hold of his arms. Yours, Kangaroos. Jesse, yours.
So Jesse Smith, looks like Ryder's got a new opponent too, at no longer Edwards.
Certainly has. Lee Brown is the unlucky person there because Paddy Ryder has started off so well.
So Harris at half-back. Heard Dean Laidley with Ricky Olorenshaw quarter time. wanting them to move it quicker and get it inside 50 to their forward. Simpson to Grant, kick to centre half forward. Edwards on the long lead. Michael was with him. Now Brown, Cole courageously, no free kick. And then under the pump, Mark Johnson, it did come out. Edwards went to ground. Handball missed Petrie. Clever by Fletcher. Ryder, who's been terrific. McPhee to Welsh. The Bombers did that really well.
Welsh through midfield. Didn't really look. Farito didn't take it. Gibson. Now Harris. Short one. Back come the Kangaroos. Simpson, Sinclair. Rawlings is on. Grant's got it though. Inside the centre square. Back to Sinclair. 75 metres out. Long. Brown. Directly in front, 25 metres out. The Anvil.
And that was just hard work. Paddy Ryder is picking him up. He was involved in the contest before. He got the ball out. He took off. But Lee Brown, he just didn't get back to him. Didn't have close enough body contact. And Paddy Ryder coming up against Lee Brown will learn what work rate is about. Dean Laidley's been drilling into Lee Brown. You must work harder than what you have been.
Yeah, but the slow-mo revealed no-mo from a couple of Essendon players there. Surely when the ball was in flight, they could have gone to Brown, who kicks the goal. That is one of the things today, Dave, about players being reluctant to leave their man to cover for their mates.
Well, that's just being selfish.
I know.
You've got to cover for your teammate, and we'll see the ball come in here. Couple there just looking, saying, please help me. And Lee Brown, he started at the top of the 50, and players have gone past. Fletcher saw him, McPhee saw him, and he went through the middle, and he has scored a goal. Well picked up there, Den.
Look at that scoreboard, 5 straight to 2-9.
Now, just having a look at the forward line there, they're all deep. They believe that they can win the ball out of the centre of the ground and get it into an open top of the 50.
That's the Kangaroos forward line as we come down the ground. Big crowd at Telstra Dome. Kangaroos have only played in front of more than 30,000 once this year. They're doing that tonight. Stanton to Winderlick. Bit of luck there to Lucas. That was good. He's pulled up a bit short here now. You don't have to be a magician to work out that this has to go through.
Oh, he'll kick this. He's a beautiful kick of the football.
Brad, 2 more metres, mate, 5 metres.
He's had a fair time. He's had the ball a while.
1-2 to Lucas in the opening term. One poster, one strange one when he played on in the pocket, and one great kick. We have got a very good view. It has to come back. It is, and is, and is, and he's got his second.
He's always going to be one of the players for the Kangaroos that they had to watch, and he's looking dangerous. There was sections of the first quarter where you thought if he gets his hands on it here, he's just in the right spot, and we may have seen the Kangaroos forward line, but if they open it out of the centre, doesn't matter where you set up, and the Bombers just had a pretty open 50 as well. You get it in that quick, and no back line can stop.
Should have been marked by Davey, missed it. Rawlings, a fumble from Watt. Time to try and redeem the situation. Farito, Rawlings, Sinclair inside the centre square. Play on's the call. Pratt in desperate trouble with the outside of the boot only as far as Ryder.
He's had a ton of it, Paddy Ryder.
Though he's on Brown in this term, Mox, and Brown's done okay, even though he missed the last. Mark Johnson's kick is not good. Watt cuts it off. They're playing basically with just Lucas in the forward line at the moment. Gibson, Harvey.
It's almost circle work at the moment, just in between the 2 50-metre arcs. A lot of turnovers.
Get down to Ricky in a minute to talk about World. So Harris in board to Harvey again. Harvey to half forward, and Simpson. Ricky, Wells didn't look too good.
Yeah, he's gone down the rooms with the medical staff. He's with them now. Just looking at that incident, Ox is right. He got pressure from the outside of his knee, pushed his knee inwards, which is a real chance he might have done his medial ligament, and hopefully his anterior cruciate will be okay.
Bruised by 3 points. McIntosh decisively into the path of Peveril, though.
Look it out, boys! Look it out!
Heard the advice of the umpire. Now 2 Essendon players have got that football, and that's the call. That's the call. And that's the right call. Simpson, clever kick towards the pocket, but Hill, sensing the danger, came across and did brilliantly and could almost get 50.
Fine there, play on.
Hill goes back to the goal square. McPhee. Now, Lovett takes off. It must go in that direction.
Hasn't got anybody to go to, Dennis.
Yeah, he decides to run it up. Now Laycock presents. Gets some separation. Takes the mark on the wing.
And that's just good play there by McPhee. Not blasting away. Waiting for the player to actually work his way to the front and give an option.
Goes for Lucas again. Gibson battles in but went to ground. Well taken by Johnson. Here's Lucas. He's given away that right boot. Dragged down by Gibson. Advantage is paid. Is there an advantage there? Grimmer still going. Grimmer. Oh, good shepherd behind by Harris. There goes the kick down towards half forward. Big leap by Ryder. 3 Bombers up though. A couple of Kangaroos wanted to shepherd. Eventually Edwards gets the footy. Goes down towards full forward. Must be a free kick to Jones. Corey Jones directly in front. 20 metres out.
Frontal contact. That's a free kick every day. Frontal contact, not looking at the ball. Here's our mark.
Takes his eyes off the ball right there, and that's exactly what he was talking about.
Every night too.
Fletcher at the same time.
Jones keeping this impeccable record, I think, intact. He does. Goal to the Kangaroos. Still they argue.
Thanks, Dustin. Thank you.
Well, it came in, and Corey Jones, as Tim Watson highlighted during the quarter-time break, going to become a pretty important play down forward. Lucas here, good pressure there by Gibson. Could have given away a free kick, and the umpire said no advantage. Edwards got it in nice and quick. Fletcher just took his eyes off the footy, and as soon as you do that, you open yourself up for a free kick.
Jones with 2. I tell you what was interesting there. Campbell Brown played on Lucas last week with pace, and that was Gibson then. The pace to go with Lucas and get the ball off him. It's an interesting matchup.
And also knowing to go to his left side all the time.
So 6-1 to 3-10 here.
Straight at him, advantage.
So Watson with the advantage, and Lucas again the target. Couldn't quite, and again Gibson's closing speed was good. Archer, McIntosh, Rawlings, Swallow. They build here, the Kangas. Just dangerous time, you reckon, for the Bombers. Had a lot of it in the first quarter, couldn't make it stick. Simpson wide, a wasted one, but it's at half forward right. Shannon Grant 4 against the old club last week against the Swans. Laycock and Hooley and Johnson sitting out. Hill's been terrific. Some courage from Grimmer. Well done, Hurd. Campbell cut it off. Smith, terrific opening quarter. High ball. Terrific play again by Hurd. Hill, got to get it out. Ripped off him. Well done, Swallow. Brilliant. Jones goes. And there you go, Dennis.
It's that end.
It's that post, Dennis.
David said that. That post. Let's break it down. That post is the one. That end, that post.
How good is Andrew Swallow? His toughness and work around the ball not to give it up almost created an easy goal for Jones.
Well, that behind coming at a bad time for the Roos. They were through there. Would have been very important. Lovett comes out to Monfries. Goes short to Peverill. Monfries runs again. That's ignored, at least initially. Very short kick. Winderlich forward of the wing. Probing kick. Laycock.
Used his hips. Used his body to hold his ground. Didn't use his hands. Could have fallen for it. And we'll see it here. That is legal. That is good play.
Okay, 3-10. This needs to be straight. The margin currently at 10 points. This to pull it back to 4. And he puts it through.
Sloppy play by the Bombers. They brought it in. They didn't get it in with any gusto, but when they did get it in, they got it in long. We saw the kick there by Peverill, ordinary at best. And it came in, and just really good play, because that is one position that a lot of players have had trouble with not putting the hands up, because it has been instinct all the way through their juniors. But good play, just using the hips.
First time they've gone in and not looked for Lucas. An extra dimension forward, important for them.
And they've still got Johns up their sleeve that hasn't had much of it.
So Hurd had plenty of it. He missed a goal in this quarter after a brilliant mark. Well, the Bombers close to within a kick. Hale, well done to Simpson. Goes for goal. Edwards, big fly. McVeigh. Cole retreats. How's Daniel Wells going, Ricky?
Well, it's good news from the Kangaroos bench. They have cleared him any damage to his anterior cruciate, so that's great news, but possibly some damage to his medial ligament.
Ricky Olorenshaw, not only a premiership player with the Bombers, player, agent and manager, but also a physiotherapist. So, well credentialed down there. Brown. Jones up the ground for the moment. Harvey got it from Rawlings. Back to Watt. In the heart of the centre square. Lumbers to full forward. McVeigh sets himself. Edwards was terrific from the side. McVeigh had to scoop it out. Stanton had a problem. It was Jones. And then McPhee took it off Jones. Good contest. Ball comes out. Edwards, little one. Marked by Peverill, didn't go the distance. Stanton's got hold of it. The Bombers to build.
There's Watson, left half back. Peverill runs past Winderlick. Goes down towards half forward. Hurd, well done for Rito. Edged under the football, James Hurd. For Rito, a clever mark going back. Finds a couple of teammates. Rawlings. Long kick from Smith. Got his career first goal in the first term. It was from long range. Fletcher thumps it to the pocket. Swallow onto the ball. Comes around. Measures the kick, but
Brody Rawlings, the 18 possessions in the first half, 14 of which have been handballs, Bruce.
Big numbers, aren't they? He's best and fairest twice in the last 3 years. He's been averaging 19 disposals this year, down slightly from last, but he's got that covered tonight. Johnson gets it short from Fletcher to Watson at centre half back. So goals hard to come by here. 6-4. Peverill had to wait a while, was picked off in the end, and then
that was clumsy, that of Edwards.
Rawlings again, so he's up to 19. Goes bang to full forward. Jones a target. Petrie with him. Jones goes to ground. Michael. McPhee had to arch the back in the end. Important ball. Monfries has got it on his chest.
Monfries towards the middle. Jason Johnson did well. Davey couldn't get through. Wonderful tackle for Rito. Over the football, Winderlick. Back to Davey. Runs to 50. Kicks long. Gibson's running back, and he took the mark. Right on the goal line.
Well, it just hung in the air.
Here's Smith. Drives it towards the outer side wing. Pratt should have got a free kick. Advantage is paid. Grant is away. Let's go down to Ricky with Brent Harvey.
Boomer, red hot game so far. Yeah, mate, it's been pretty intense. Obviously, the ball's going up and down like a yo-yo, so the boys are working pretty hard. Good on you, Boomer. Thanks, mate.
Meanwhile, back at the game, Edwards. And that's terrific of the Kangaroos to allow us to talk to their players off the ground. Second time we've tried that, Bruce. Second time there's been a specking.
It's all yours, Dennis.
Edwards comes in and kicks from 35 and gets it. Theatre of the mind.
Well, Edwards has taken the third most contested marks in the competition. He was recruited for this, to take the mark and kick the goal, and with Nathan Thompson out, he's been very good the last few weeks. Been well held in this first half, but that's what he can do. If Mel Michael's going to give him that much latitude, he will sit on shoulders very, very easily.
Big goal for Edwards. He can take a contested mark and a bit of breathing space as we get towards half-time. 7-5, 4-10. Good half of footy. Harris. Brilliant. Brown searching. Gee, good pass off Edwards. So a break for the Bombers, and they need one at the moment. Love it. To Watson. To Hurd. Now Essendon to build. Awful kick, James. That's just a waste, isn't it? Now, what wide? Harris is working the centre square's been spectacular.
Too slow.
So the advantage given. Watson draws a man. It was Lovett's chase down, and then McVeigh to Lucas, outnumbered. Archer getting back with Gibson.
Bruce, I think that's the most exciting thing in football at the moment. Players running down players from behind.
I reckon Buddy Franklin's up there too.
Hale, clean possession. Simpson, Sinclair, who's been good, comes out wide, close to the boundary, runs it out in front of Pratt.
But everyone can chase a player down. Not everyone can play like Buddy Franklin.
No, it's a good point you're making. It has been a highlight of this season, no doubt about it.
Ox, explain your top four, because we've got him on cue. James Hurd leading the way inside the 50, lurking at the back. It's taken by Stanton, who pops it through.
Great play there by Hurd. Just got the ball in. A little bit lucky to come through to Stanton, but just super play there by Hill. He's such an important player to this Essendon side to open up opportunities for other players. John's just horribly out of form at the moment, went under the footy there, but it came in and he was in the right spot at the right time.
So handy goal for Stanton. Do you remember your top four, Ox?
I do. I think it was Hurd. Stanton was in there as well. So just putting those two together. Lee Brown was in there. He's had a pretty good start to the game. And so has Brody Rawlings.
Well, McIntosh and Hill have had both had an impact in different ways. Jason Johnson gets it from McVeigh. Ooh. Winderlich.
Mark's here.
Can't stop that.
Thanks, Jason. One to your right.
Ball came in. Beautiful kick too by Johnson. Plenty of space. They haven't been going to Lucas, which is smart, because he has been beaten on his last couple of occasions, and now other players are starting to come into the game, so it may open up for Lucas later on, but plenty of options down forward at the moment for the Bombers.
Bombers have not kicked 2 goals in a row tonight and still haven't.
I suggest they work on this during the week, because this is costing them dearly at the moment. They've had 16 shots on a goal and only got the 41 points.
So Gibson to bring it in. No coincidence, really. A couple of the prime movers off the ground for the Kangaroos, and suddenly a spark from the Bombers. Harris off. I think Harvey is still off. And Jones, who's been lively on the forward line, off the ground as well. They were dominating the centre square.
50.
And now 50.
Just put his knee straight into his side.
Umpire Vozzo stepping it out. The in-form umpire in the competition right now.
We'll see it here.
Grimmer.
It's actually not this piece of play. We don't see it.
No. But just be careful when you make sure you don't go to the top. Blood rule, guys! Blood rule!
It's all happening.
Whatever you do, don't get demonstrative, that's all. Yeah, that's all. I don't mind you having a chat.
That's good. That's when you can have a chat and not cop a serious fine. We'll see it here. This is Winderlich. He's the culprit. Just gives a knee there. That's it.
So, Grimmer, I think he had a bounce before he got to the man on the mark. Kicks inside the 50. Edwards the target. Good mark in front. Peveril. Geez, got some courage, Peveril. Plays on. Back to Hurd. Hurd swings it out wide. Harris back on the ground now. Good to see.
Had a few of his kicks cut off tonight, James Hurd.
Harris 60 metres out. Long. Important spell in the game. Petrie launches himself off hands. Brown dragged down, releases the ball. Petrie missed it. Back to Brown. It's under Brown. What can he do? He's released it, or tried to. I think that will be holding it.
He got the footy.
Ooh.
Can't pay a free for that.
Fair enough.
Just mentioning some of James Hurd's stats. 5 clangers, which is unusual for the champ.
As you say, he's had a lot of the footies with Rawlings at the moment. They've probably had the most disposals on the ground. Campbell trying to go through. Peverile's been good. And that one eluding Rawlings.
Been very good, Peveril. All year, in fact.
Now watch him, Red.
He turned around last year. He went back to the VFL, didn't he? And then turned it around late last year. He was on the rookie list in his first season and just demanded attention, didn't he? Watson. Ryder's got it. Now he's got Johns. Hurd to Johns now. Johns has had a slow first half, a bit lazy at times when the ball's come forward. Now a chance to get involved. Now McPhee's run really hard. Hard kick, and Archer was terrific, but it was a slow kick from Johns.
Glenn Archer loves that. He sees the ball just hang in the air and coming off and being that third man up, and in fact it was just one-on-one in that instance, but loves it.
In the back. Advantage.
Well, Hill might have a point there, but the advantage given to Ferrito, who goes to Jones.
Back on the ground with 1:20 remaining in the half. Probing kick, Brown. Well, it's no coincidence the playmakers very important to the Kangaroos.
No doubt, and Lee Brown was sitting behind Paddy Ryder on that occasion. He wanted the ball to come in long. Just having a look at the free kick. That's a free kick.
Yep.
That's there. And Paddy Ryder has got to learn he's got to be closer to him. If he plays with him, he's going to out-jump him. He's going to have longer reach than him.
Lee Brown going at number 3. This is a very important kick, and I think he's got it. So the margin suddenly jumps out to 12.
And all of a sudden, Lee Brown becomes a very important player in this game. Paddy Ryder, who was so brilliant in the first quarter and a half.
He's just ran into his back. I've got to pay that, okay?
The point they're making is that Hill, the boundary umpire threw the ball in. Hill had to try and get to the ball, and Archer, who wasn't contesting the boundary throw, was in his road, and he ran into him. I reckon he's stiff.
Report the boundary umpire.
Now, what Hill has to do is get around him.
So hit the Hill from the throw in here. Now, short throw in, Hale behind, Archer in the road of Hill. I reckon he's stiff.
Still, he's got to show care. He's got to get to the ball without knocking a player over.
Gee, the Brown move under Ryder's been a good one, hasn't it, this term? Because Ryder was stitching Edwards up, and now Brown stitched Ryder up. Johnson out of the centre. Davey caught underneath. Archer having a big second quarter.
Yeah, Joe Watson's getting his hands on the footy also. He's had 15 touches after starting on the bench.
Harris to Sinclair.
Laycock sitting back in the hole, and a lot of numbers now back. And the Kangaroos saying that if you're going to drop some numbers back, Essendon, we're going to go in and man you up.
Ferrito. So the Bombers have had more shots, but the Kangaroos take a lead in at half-time. Rawlings had a big, big first half, goes to full forward. Sloppy kick, Ryder cuts it off. So it's all set up, isn't it?
The Bombers have squandered a lot of opportunities. Hill tries to hook it down behind. Simpson did well. Harris feeds it out. Rawlings just knocking up, getting possessions. Good mark, Mark Johnson. Plays on immediately. Out of defence. Driven towards midfield there by Peveril. And the mark is taken by Watt.
In front of Paddy Ryder too, who's gone down forward for the start of the third quarter.
In fact, it was Stanton who kicked it out. Now Watt got it from Simpson. Watt's hurt behind play. Smith inside the 50. Jones was up, missed the footy. Now there's a whistle and a free kick is coming back, and it's going to Edwards.
Chopping of the arms, I think you'll find, from umpire Vozzo.
It's just a straight out.
Edwards, who took a spectacular mark in the first half.
Mark's here.
Here's Watt.
Thanks.
Well, that'll be interesting too.
No, nothing in that.
No, okay.
Just a little love tap.
Edwards will kick from just outside the 50. Hasn't got the carry. Look at this, just one out. Flicked back across the line by Johns.
Just feel he's got a big bag in front of him, Edwards, someday. He's not far away from kicking half a dozen.
And that's the other swap. Johns has gone down back, and Paddy Ryder's come forward. Big change there by Sheeds.
This is the equal biggest lead of the game so far, 13 points. Stanton from Fletcher makes Hill work, got him. He's had a lot of influence, Hill. He's been able to get on his own a lot.
Well, McIntosh gave him too much space then. He had too much room to move into.
And that's been McIntosh's caper this year, that he's been able to get free and get a lot of the ball.
Well, he's doing exactly that at the moment. McIntosh just got to stay closer. He can go with him. There's Daniel Wells on the boundary line. If he comes back on, Rick, he's a miracle man.
McVeigh had a couple to choose from. Stanton busy as always. Run down by Sinclair, but got the kick away. Davey got the awkward bounce. Gibson in trouble now. Had a long time, but got it out to Smith, to Simpson, back to Smith. Didn't look, blazed away, might get away with it. The two number ones. Well done, Mark Johnson. Got a second crack and did it really well. And then back from Hill. Oh, sidestep okay.
This is Stanton, fourth possession of the term. Goes down towards the attacking 50. Lucas lunges and hangs on.
He loves his part of the ground too, Lucas. He'll run around.
He will.
Well, not if Gibson has anything to do with it. He won't fake on the right this time.
So often he takes off and the umpire is busy setting the mark, but that time Gibson, oblivious to the umpire, focused firmly on Lucas, who's kicked two. Sharp angle, but it favours a left footer. It'll take his best effort from here.
He'll kick this.
He'll kick from about 53 or 54. Well, it wobbles down towards the kickoff line. Plenty of Kangaroos up. One of the McIntosh angles it back across the line of behind. So the margin, as it was at halftime, 12 points.
Jess Sinclair has got the footy now. Only 6 touches in the first half. He averages 21, so he's well below his normal output.
McIntosh to Gibson. Forward of half back for space. Grant set a task. It's out of bounds.
And goes to Shannon Grant, who only had 5 touches in the first half. That is well below his best, and no goals, more importantly.
Watson, Monfries, Welsh, Laycock. 2-3 for Lucas tonight. 19-11 coming in.
Ooh.
Stanton may be lucky. Now he gets one. She's a worker, Stanton, isn't he?
Well, in the first quarter, he was playing on. First half, he was playing on Rawlings. Rawlings had the better of him, 20-14, Bruce.
Now Stanton chasing hard and catching up in a hurry. Michael at half back. Love it. So a quiet start really to the second half. Stanton again. Nothing quiet for his second half so far. To Johnson getting a bit busier. Back to McVeigh, back to Johnson. A build now. The right kick should be to Lucas. He hasn't gone all the way. And a good half volley for Archer. It was a poor kick coming in from Johnson. Harvey to Hale, back to Harvey, back to Watt. And Watt now to build.
Kicks beyond the wing on the leg, Petrie, and that's a good mark. Strong hands, plays on alongside the centre circles. Tugs it inside the forward 50. Edwards comes to it. Needs support, comes to Harvey, who moments ago had it across half back. Long kick to full forward. Brown hands to it, couldn't hang on. Cole gets back. The danger passed. Cole swings it to the outer side. Jason Johnson. That was clumsy by Pratt. Advantage won't be paid. It'll come back.
He's very lucky then, Jason Johnson. Fumbled, went to ground.
Pratt should have hung back just a little.
That's all he had to do.
Yep. Johnson to Hill.
Hasn't he come back into some good form? Hill.
Enthralling duel that. Jason Johnson confronted. McPhee, ditto. Jason Johnson back to McPhee. Advantage will be paid. Johnson was put down. Cole goes to half forward looking for Hurd. Archer over the top. Wonderful mark, Hurd. 65 metres out. Long ball. Lucas the target. Gibson reaches over the top. Somehow got it on the ground. Smith in desperate trouble. Taken down, held to him. And a ball up from umpire Margette's 15 metres out.
Well, the Bombers have done the right thing. They've isolated Lucas. One out in the goal square with Gibson. And it's just a really good tussle at the moment between the two.
Ryder read at best. Winderlick towards the line. Sinclair's high ball. Stanton, Peverill, 2 up. Harvey read it well in the end. Holding a terrific tackle coming in from that man Lucas. Long way from goal. Good mark. Could he do it? Bully. I've just got to say it, Dennis.
Go on.
Hooly-dooly.
Well, you won't forget that. His first goal in football.
Forgive me.
No, it was there to be done, Bruce.
Good finish, wasn't it?
Certainly was. Came in, took off, and he had players everywhere. Great play.
You'd say on face value that was rather ambitious, surrounded by a lot of people when he decided to play on, but one of 7 children, so crowds don't worry him. And the margin is 6 points. Important goal, that one. Play restarts with a good bounce. Hill was up early. Hale didn't touch the football. Hooley, a bit of confidence now. Hill went to ground. Sinclair slapped it out of there. Simpson, Smith, clever football, Smith. Harris. Well done, Harris. Creates some space. Had it a while, but didn't go 15 towards half forward. Grant from behind Peverill. Well played there by Swallow to Grant. Normally gobbles this up, and he does with this opportunity. Slams it through.
And that's why he's so good. He had players free, but he knew his ability. He knew that if he's inside, attacking 50. Slow play here by Harris, who was bringing the ball inside. A good contest, had to make it, and got rewarded. And Grant, every opportunity, every time he comes in and got a shot on goal, gee, you just about back him in.
Do you notice how his gait changed right there?
Yep.
Centre clearances 10-6, Kangaroos over the Bombers. Dean Laidley looking at 4 consecutive wins if they can get home tonight.
Talking about Stanton before, Bruce. The tag has been taken off him from Brody Rawlings. That's why he's getting his hands on it.
Good kick from Hurd, whose kicking let him down in the first half. Everything else was happening. The 34-year-old Ryder's had an interesting night. Probably best man on the ground in the first 15 minutes. Then turned inside out a bit by Brown, and now on the forward line. Peverill to Mark Johnson. Cole to run for him. Interesting selection, Cole tonight. Kick to the hot spot. McVeigh to love it. Streaming through and missing. Well, there's just no icing on the cake, is there? No. I mean, they're doing everything right. They just can't top it off.
Margin 11 points then. Gibson with a telling kick. Torito in his space, pursued by Davey. Sinclair very untidy. Hooley taken down in a strong tackle. Johnson in the opposite direction. Well done for Rito. Hard against the boundary line. Kick inside the 50. Jones almost a free, nothing doing. Johns somehow got through with pace. Well done. Peverill on the overlap. Stanton. Penetrating kick to half forward. Lucas and Gibson. Well done, Gibson. Got the hand in there, knocked it to his own advantage, then took it out of bounds, and it will be thrown in.
Well, that's been the contest of the night, those two. Lucas and Gibson just vying for front position. And Lucas is the master at actually getting in and pushing the player under and turning the player inside out, but Gibson wasn't having any of it.
60 plays 49, just over 13 minutes till three-quarter time. Thrown in about 60 metres out from the attacking goal for the Bombers. Grimmer to Harvey, did well. Rawlings kicks beyond the wing. Petrie's in front, almost the mark. Johns did well enough. In trouble was Michael. Michael was taken down. That was the catch-22 situation. He's not the quickest man in the world, Michael. The hand pass comes across to McVeigh. Well done. Breathtaking, Bruce. The kick inside the 50. Archer goes up and takes the mark.
Well, Watt had to make a tackle there. He missed him. He went for the bump instead.
Well, it happened a couple of times in a row. That's what takes your breath away. Ferrito on the burst. This game up for grabs. A third bounce. And then down the line, well way to kick. McPhee got caught out, and Jones at half forward to go to the pocket. Grant and Monfrey's back on him. This game right on the knife edge, I reckon.
Just a poor kick by Jones coming inside. Got to give his forwards an opportunity to at least contest a mark. Going to the pockets, no good out there.
Simpson and Harris lying side by side, two important players. on the interchange. Monfries, no free kick. He's going to have to get it out.
In trouble.
No play opportunity.
And that's the advantage of actually picking the ball up and not diving on it. You get the benefit of the doubt.
Kangas get a goal here. They'll get the big lead of the match, and you reckon they might take a grip on it. Is that Swallow? He's got it. They've got their hands around this match now.
And doesn't he love it in nice and tight? Good play here by McIntosh. Just dropped it at his feet. And Swallow, that is a beautiful piece of crumbing. Front and square. And no body pressure at all from the Bombers around him. 4 players just too far behind. Got to have body contact inside. An attacking 50 for the Kangaroos.
Andrew Swallow, 6 goals in his career, 4 this season, his first ever against the Bombers. And what a timely one. 66 plays 49. Kevin Sheedy on the phone in his 27th season. Hill took his eye off the ball. Swallow didn't. Hand pass comes from Grant. Sinclair's run carries him outside the centre square, goes back inside and chips. Monfries with courage put his body in front of the leading Petrie.
Been very good, Monfries.
Real testing time for the Bombers now. They need the next goal. Hill presenting on the wing as he's done all night. Wants to go. Kicks down towards half forward. That was ill-directed. Archer missed it. Gibson didn't have it. Played it well. Davey persists. Smith got it away. Swallow once more.
It's open.
Yes, with a pit of Fitzsimons beard. There goes the kick inside the 50 from Grant. Up in front, Hale punched away by Michael. Socket off the ground, McPhee. Only as far as Sinclair. Steps around a would-be tackler. That was Hooley from 60 metres out. Working in front. Terrific. Wonderful Mark Edwards. Going back, Fletcher wanted the body and missed him. It's like missing the head pin.
Oh, just Sinclair. He had players everywhere. He went for goal. But Aaron Edwards kicked 100 goals in the VFL last year. What an excitement machine he is.
Point blank range. The biggest gap of the night continues to widen.
I liken him to Russell Robertson. The way he's got that vertical leap.
Don't do that again. You said that last week.
I liken him to Russell Robertson.
No.
And that is enough for me.
Well, me too.
Dustin Fletcher just lost body contact with him here. And as the ball came in, it's about almost a foot and a half, I reckon, Bruce, that he's jumped vertically off 2 feet. Not the easiest thing to do, especially when you've got a quality defender like Dustin Fletcher just trying to knock it away from you.
Well, Fletcher's got the height, but Edwards took the mark. He was averaging 3 contested marks coming in tonight, and he's taken a couple of beauties tonight. And the Kangas are away. Bombers need the next one. Suddenly the game has opened up.
It's going to be very interesting to see what Kevin Sheedy has to say at 3/4 time.
Swallow's been important, hasn't he? Look at the clearances.
Yeah. And that's been the big issue for the Bombers, getting the ball out. Slowish midfield.
Edwards again and Petrie. Edwards, not quite. Campbell.
Open hand, open hand. No, open hand. Who's? Yes, Dustin Fletcher. Mark's here.
So against Campbell, he's had a quiet one. Fletcher wide.
What was it
Davey.
called by the umpire? An open hand.
That's what he said.
Well, as far as I know, that you can use an open hand.
I don't think so.
Stanton. Hooley left it. Stanton's had a magnificent quarter. Watson to Stanton. Goes to Lucas. Good kick. Oh!
Got him in the front. Yeah, frontal contact. He's marked it, pushed him straight in the front.
How good has Stanton been in this quarter? 9 possessions, Stanton, in this term.
Let's have a look at this. He's taken his eyes off it. Great decision.
So Lucas and Gibson, the clash of the night. Lucas with a couple. Hard to say who's won the battle. You'd say right now maybe Gibson a nose in front, but Lucas to square it up with a third. So 6 shots for goal for Lucas, 3 goals, 3.
Here's this open palm we were talking about, the umpire. Well, I don't know what they saw there, but this one, Lucas coming in spot on there. Stanton is the one, Bruce, you mentioned him, 9 touches. They've got to pick him up. Wonderful job in the first half slowing him down. Got to do it again.
Scott Lucas, 22 goals for this season. Brent Stanton averaging 26 possessions a game this season with a high of 33 against the Saints round 4, low of 20 against Carlton round 3. That spells consistency. Ryder up high, beaten though by Hale. Got it down to Harris, to Simpson. Swallow once more, digs it out of the middle, upended. There was no free kick. Rawlings, Sinclair's been busy, goes to half forward, play on's the call. McIntosh, long down towards the square, going back was Hale, hands to it, couldn't hang on. And across the line for a behind.
They're looking dangerous here, the Roos.
Looking dangerous when they go high into full forward, aren't they?
Paddy Ryder got the benefit of the doubt there.
Peverill working hard. Laycock, good presentation.
I think if you're a bit young, Bruce, you get the benefit of the doubt.
No, but umpire thinking that collision was as he kicked Davey inboard to Cole.
Couldn't have. He was 5 seconds late.
Cole short to Lovett on his bootstraps. Davey couldn't take it. Smith was good. Sinclair ridden into the ground. McVeigh, well done to Lovett. Hooks to the pocket. Lucas working. Back to Monfries. Had to backtrack, so he lost momentum. And then clever kick to Watson inside 50.
Mark, here. Time on.
Be right on his distance here for Joby. Might be a little bit too far.
Yet to have a set shot this year, Joe. He's 1 goal this year, 15 in his career.
His old man would have kicked it. No, he wouldn't have. Might not have.
Well, it's a big kick. It might really test him, but an important one here. This to bring Essendon right back. And he ran out to get the distance and didn't really threaten the goal in the end. So they continue to miss the Bombers. They're up to 7-14.
Have to hold here, the Bombers. They want to get a couple of goals before the end of the quarter to go in within a couple.
Margin 17 points. Archer for distance. McIntosh is the target. And to beat his teammate as well there, and did so. Monfries fighting out of his weight division. Little chip over the top. Moving to space. Smith. First career goal tonight in his 8th game. McIntosh kicks down towards the attacking 50, and Harvey drifting in, took the mark, plays on, spears it down towards the pocket. It bounces to Grant, takes on the tackler. How does he go with a check side? Pretty well.
Harvey was the only one that wanted the ball at half forward, and Grant must have given him a little whisper because he was hidden in the pocket. Bit of a scrubber kick, but gee, they would have done that so many times in their career. And McPhee will be disappointed to fall for that. Wonderful finish. Nothing better than watching good players do the party tricks.
Let's go down to Ricky with Drew Petrie. Rick.
But unlikely opponent in Courtney Johns.
Yeah, I was surprised, Rick, when he came down to the back line in the 3rd quarter there, but hopefully we can isolate him and hopefully one of us can take some grabs.
Good on you, Drew. Thanks, mate.
Interesting stuff, eh? Petrie with Ricky there. And he was isolated a moment ago, Johns, wasn't he? Trying to run down. Gee, I thought Hooley got one in the back, trying to run down Grant. Grant, 2 third-quarter goals. Rawlings again. And again, the Kangaroos threatened to bang it open this match.
Too
Harvey.
slick.
Short to McIntosh.
Just been too slick, and we don't want to keep bringing it up, but the Bombers midfield and the runners around the centre of the ground are just being exposed at the moment.
Getting smashed in the centre clearances too, aren't they?
They are. Even though Hill's had a big influence, the little blokes are the ones doing the damage.
Well, McIntosh would be with Simpson, you reckon, leading the best and fairest so far this season. He's been one of the revelations of 2007. It's a good kick. Well, they've put the spirit on now.
Makes a difference, doesn't it, when you kick those? The Bombers missed so many opportunities, and we knew it was going to come back and hurt them. Could have been a free kick there to Bashahuli, but they got it out, and Brody Rawlings continuing to knock up the possessions. 24 now for him.
McIntosh the goal, and what about this man, the marking target across half forward, Brent Harvey. He's the smallest player in the competition and perhaps the only one with his feet in his driver's license photo. It's back in the middle. 13-7, 7-14.
I like that one, didn't
Play restarts. The margin getting very worrisome for Essendon. Hooley, Monfries, Hill, well played. Love it inside the forward 50. In front, Hurd. No free kick. Sinclair comes away. Kicks it up towards the wing. And the mark is taken by the man who got that last goal. Hurd having a bit to say. McIntosh too tall for Campbell. And coming up, Johnson, a little surprised, punches it over the line.
Let's have a look at this one. I think that's not bad. Pretty good defending there by Frito.
We've seen that paid this season, though, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
Rawlings, sweeping handball. Smith to Petrie, talking to Ricky a moment ago, and coming back and just missing.
I reckon Ricky would have claimed that too. Just giving him words of wisdom.
5-goal game suddenly, isn't it? Michael.
He's had no influence on the game at all, Mel Michael.
Johnson, Winderlick. Where can the inspiration come from?
Might be this boy.
Need a couple before three-quarter time.
Beautiful.
Good running. Jason Johnson, the kick from Ryder, gone.
Oh.
That hurts. Harris. Short to Harvey. Dennis.
Oh, that's crude. That's silly.
Not necessary, not in the contest. 50, it's a free shot.
Well, the umpire probably summed it up. Added on to what you were about to say.
Just silly. Just he'd already taken the mark. We'll have a look at it here, and I don't think it's going to look any better.
What did you say about his driver's license, Dennis? 55
He'll
out.
be sore in the seat, Bruce.
Oh.
Well, Shannon Grant
Again,
and Brent Harvey.
Waxing at the moment, those two.
Yes, I think it was. Shannon! Shagger, come round! Yeah, that's all right, we'll just man each other up. All right, so what we're doing.
Just got to admire the Kangaroos, don't you?
Yep.
0-3 in their last 3 games, and then again tonight. They're resilient.
And it was this man who missed the goal in the opening round. He kicked 4 last week. He's kicked 2 in the third quarter so far tonight. He's kicked 3 in the third quarter tonight.
Realistically, the Kangaroos could be 5-2 after tonight's game, and this isn't over yet. But after losing Nathan Thompson at the start of the year, you would expect them, or you could have expected them to drop right off the radar. They're an unbelievable club, and Peverill won't be happy, and either will some people. I reckon he'll get looked at. That is not a very pretty thing to see.
An action replay as Lovett kicks inside the forward 50. Down goes Monfries. Ball runs out of bounds in the pocket. That tells you something, but really they're meaningless because the Bombers have been just chipping it around for the last few minutes in defence. Hill, Petrie over the top. Swallow clever. Watt surrounded, needs to kick it, does, outside the 50. Hooley goes back with courage, didn't have the football, will get the free kick. Clock is running down to three-quarter time. A minute 23 remaining. So the Bombers have got to get a goal this time inside their forward 50. Well, initially they go back. McPhee, Winderlich, alongside the centre circles.
Just taking no risk here at the Bombers. He's got to go now.
Michael goes down towards the 50 and Hurd. Too far out to score. James Hurd goes long towards full forward. Going back is Lucas.
Oh.
And that's a terrific mark. And that landing Hurd.
He'll get up though. He's within goal kicking distance.
What are you saying?
Well, he likes to kick goals, Dennis.
He's got 3. He's had a good night. He has been the man up forward.
And the guy that got it in, well, he may be the difference tonight. James Hurd, he'll need to step up.
Very important. If this is the last goal of the term, he holds up his end of the bargain.
Still, who would you give the points to, Bruce? It's been a super effort by Gibson, but it's also been a pretty good effort by Scotty Lucas to keep coming, keep presenting, and that's a great mark.
If he gets 5, I'll go for Lucas, but right now, not much in it. But that is a super grab, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah, gee, he's a wonderful footballer. Underrated too.
Gibson's an emerging player, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's getting better, and the Kangaroos have got a player they can build around.
Well, Kevin Sheedy has not had a win over Dean lately. This is the 5th time they've clashed. Sheeds to be mic'd up at 3/4 time. His team with a late goal, but trail by 5. 14-8, 8-14. Same scoring shots. Love it. Could there be a late goal one way or the other? Rawlings run into the ground. Davey quick. Grimmer with him. Pretty good vision. Simpson rode it well. It was Swallows' important goal that gave them the break early in the quarter. McPhee to Jason Johnson to Hooley.
Oh, loose here.
Well, Stanton's had a heap of it in this term. They would have loved him to have got that 15 seconds earlier. It is set up. The Kangas are 5 in front. They've made all the running. We'll be back with Sheeds after this.
Get in front, you'll get a reward. First in, get it into our forward line. Don't hang out, just get in over it, hit it forward, kick it off the ground. And Joe, don't always wait for a handball. Get on your bloody boot. Hurdy got it in and Lucas got a goal. Let's go, quick.
Let's go.
Fascinating. Tim Watson up with us. Tim, you've heard it before, but the message was loud and clear.
It's all about positivity. That's what he always sells, Kevin, and that's what he's trying to instruct his players in this last quarter, that you're still in this game. It's about taking risks.
After 27 years, Kevin Sheedy's still breaking new ground. Quite remarkable. Congratulations to him. This is Watson. You mentioned Watson at 3/4 time. Job, not Tim. Trying to crash his way through was Harris. Swallow did well. Jones, Rawlings. A wave of blue and white as Rawlings comes back to Simpson. Simpson goes inside the forward 50 from behind. Edwards made a contest. Watson in front. This is Peverill. Drives it back towards the defensive 50, but straight onto the chest of this man, Grimmer.
Skill errors by the Bombers will end up costing them dearly. Not only shots a goal, but just their field kicking all night has been below what they expect.
So the margin at 30 points.
And that's also perceived pressure from the Kangaroo forwards too upon the defenders of the Bombers.
This should be a question of accuracy. It's on its way. It's working back. Well, some tackling down on the line, I would have thought. What's the call?
Yeah, okay. It's holding the man to Drew, your kick. You slung him down, mate. It was just outside the square. No, it was just outside. It was just outside. It was just outside. No, he's allowed to hold his ground. No, it was just outside. Straight out. The kick. No, right out.
Hard to argue with umpire Vozzo.
I think it's there.
And Petrie, on a very sharp angle, has some work to do nevertheless. Very close to the man on the mark, steps around, and the situation gets grimmer.
Well,
now
Dustin Fletcher can be as angry as he likes, but he did have his arms around Petrie's body.
That's one thing umpires don't like. He needs to be very careful about what he said right there.
That's the error, though. Peverill, he wasn't under all that much pressure. And the ball came back in. That's a free kick all day long.
And all night.
Yep.
So back to a 6-goal game as it was just before three-quarter time. Matthew Lloyd in the front of that box there. Kevin Sheedy would love to have him out there right now.
Oh, would he ever? But remember too, the Kangaroos lost Wells before half-time.
Hill got it from McIntosh. Inside the, almost inside the 50. Hurd with an opportunity. Simpson with him. Farito, Davey, brilliant. The handball, Watson tried the half volley. Back to Farito. Back to Harris. It's been terrific in tight, Harris. Good kick to Smith. His first quarter was outstanding, just as his last quarter against the Swans last week was. Swallow, who continues to impress. Good kick.
Oh.
Free kick to Edwards.
Well beyond his range here. And just a push in the back. Maybe a little bit lucky.
So to the front of the square. McIntosh, or McVeigh went very early and interfered. Hot footy. Brown takes it and kicks the fourth.
He's an interesting story, Lee Brown. After the first round, he was under enormous pressure to hold his spot. Dean Laidley said, we need an effort. We need you working very hard when you haven't got the footy, because you don't get it that often. We need you in the game. We need you tackling. We need you creating opportunities. And the last couple of weeks, whilst the Kangaroos have been improving, Lee Brown's been getting better and better. And tonight he's had another good game.
(16-8 to 8-14). He's feeling content. Place in history.
Okay, boys.
Just a sidebar, but nevertheless, that's a first. Play restarts. McIntosh slaps it down. A few things coming out of that last goal as Winderlick goes out towards right half forward. In front was Hurd. Step for step for Rito. Watt didn't get his body over the ball, but did okay in the circumstances. Farito lunging forward, brilliantly done. Got it to Rawlings. They can work it around the outer side. Harris goes back to Grimmer, involved moments ago. Back to Harris. Hard against the boundary line, pinpoint accuracy. Suddenly, Aaron Edwards starting to believe he belongs. Goes inside the 50. Oh, terrific mark. McPhee drifting back, grabbed it defiantly. A lot of players deep in defence, though, for Essendon. Makes it hard to score. They need to really work up the ground. This is Fletcher at left half back.
Well, we heard Kevin Sheedy saying, just play on, get it moving on at all costs. This one's got to go, and they do.
So Hooley gets it to Love it. Cut off by Harris, who's probably as good as any player out there tonight. To Smith, to Grimmer, to McIntosh. Harvey the target, and Peverill into his back.
Got a target on his back, Harvey, with Peverill.
He's a remarkable player, Harvey, isn't he? Premiership player, couple of All-Australians.
You know what you're going to get every time he pulls the jumper on.
Petrie.
He can kick the ball, Petrie.
Well, he decides to centre. Brown a target. And Watson did well to cut it off. And then short to Winderlick. Now, this is the area that Sheed said you've got to go, go, go.
To space, and Fletcher played it pretty well. Stanton tried to go back to Fletcher. Socket away by Swallow. The beneficiary now is Harris. To Rawlings. Hale needs to be careful. Ryder takes him down. Ball wedged between the pair, holding the ball. Well, Hale didn't have much time.
No, there's the proper opportunity in that.
Doesn't pay to be a big guy.
Wow.
There's Ryder, the cross half back. He's tried hard. Michael.
It's a good kick.
Getting behind a couple of players on the wing. Plays on. Here's Hooley. An early bounce. Runs to 50. Ill-directed kick. Although Laycock could have been held. Doesn't matter. Holds the mark.
Jason.
Just about to talk about Farito.
Fine.
Been one of the most improved players in the competition, becoming a very dependable backman.
Pretty hard to combat the big man there. Laycock in front. Normally a pretty reliable kick, and gee, do they need this to have any chance. Laycock comes in and misses. Story of their night.
Well, set shots, Dennis. Kangaroos 11-1 tonight and 6-9 the Bombers. Davey from 35. Goal.
Well, the Flames not out totally just yet. The Bombers, they'll keep coming. And a poor kicking. Well, the kicking wasn't too bad. It was just an error there by Harris. And you can get a little bit sloppy when you get comfortable. And the runner will be going out to those two involved to make sure that that doesn't happen again. Not pretty.
So Davey with a goal to bring it back to a 6-goal game. And the clearance of Swallow, who's continues to impress. He was so good down at Geelong, wasn't he? Against the Cats, in and under. He's going to be a mighty fine player. Peveril, Hooley, he's probably done enough. Rawlings, Harris has been superb. To Pratt and got a really heavy knock when he ran into Archer early. Simpson off one step. They've had the marking power up forward. Mark Johnson, head down, free kick.
Let him go, let him go. That's it. He's still got him.
To Stanton. Stanton. Very wide to left half back. Monfries having to stretch.
The Kangaroos are happy with this. They're happy for them to go out wide and cross the ground. They need to get it going forward.
Of course they are, yep. And it does fly in the face of what Kevin Shitty was saying at three-quarter time.
Yep,
Wendell.
Got to go, just go.
That's right, that was the word. That's better. Fletcher drives it towards half forward. Maybe something good will happen. Ryder, terrific mark. Plays on. McPhee 60 metres out behind Davey. This will make it hard. Davey, 40 metres from goal, takes them on, pulls it back across the body. Looks good. Bounces on its point, but it's good enough.
Isn't it amazing when you see something like that happen? We heard Kevin Sheedy at three-quarter time say, just get it on. Fletcher made the run. He came from behind. We haven't seen any of it all day. And things open up. And that's exactly what happened for the Bombers forward line then. And Davey, 2 in a couple of minutes. He's not going to get any slower. He can run all day. And the Kangaroos have to be careful here because the Bombers are starting to come.
Davies kicked 2 in a row. It's the first time tonight the Bombers have kicked consecutive goals. Thought Ryder was just terrific there. Had to take the mark, did, got the handball off. Used the corridor, which is what Sheeds talked about. Harris has been super in the centre. Gee.
You took him on. Just let it go.
Just never know here. Another one here might make it pretty exciting. Johnson to fall forward. Laycock. Courage in the front by Jesse Smith.
Gee, they're happy to have him back too.
Sounds like a gunslinger, doesn't he, Dennis? Jesse Smith?
He certainly does.
McIntosh just sat, waited, and then kicks to Harvey. So that was a big mark by Smith because another Bomber goal there. Suddenly, things could have been happening.
Well, they've got a taste now. They're within 5 goals. And the Kangaroos have to be not cautious, just stick to what they've been doing for the first 3 quarters.
Yes, Sinclair. If they make a movie out of this game, I think Lee Van Cleef will be Jesse Smith. Here's Ferrito. Hopefully he's still alive. Now, there's a free kick going to Monfries, 10 metres away against Brent Harvey. Monfries, Stanton, and suddenly the Bombers have found something here. Spring in their step. What a beautiful kick. Love it. Storming past Mark Johnson. A bit of self-belief. They're moving the ball quickly. Why has it taken this long? Peveril sets one up. Stanton has to wait. But wait, he did. And sometimes patience is a virtue.
Well, James Hurd again got it on the wing. He wheeled. Isn't it amazing the good players, they hear and they take it in and then they act. We saw Fletcher do it. We've seen Hurd do it now, playing on at every opportunity.
Kevin Sheedy knew what was required. His players doubted him for a while, but now they are true believers.
They're up now, the Bombers. The backmen have come down into the centre of the ground just to give Montfries a tap on the shoulder. Harvey gave away the free kick to Montfries. And undisciplined by Harvey. The runner will go to him and say, look, we're in control here. Let's keep our heads, make sure we keep our hands on the footy when we've got it.
Ricky, do you give the Bombers a chance?
Yeah, definitely. Just watching the Kangaroos at ground level, it definitely dropped off their work rate off the ball. A perfect example of that was young Swallow then, who didn't follow Hurd into that contest and gave him about 20 metres.
Harvey being dragged.
So Harvey off the ground. 42 points to big margin, back to 19. Hooley's handball missed Hurd the target. Harris superb. Hooley good. Well done. Davey to Stanton. So the Bombers have kicked 3 goals, 1 without reply. Stanton's been outstanding. Lovett on the long lead. Montfries running hard.
Oh,
good player for Rito, isn't he? He's a real good player. Smith down the line. Lee Van Cleef has never looked so good, Dennis.
I'd love to see him these days. Maybe I wouldn't. Boundary throw in on the wing.
That's a big move by Dane Ladler. We saw Archer give away a free kick in the first quarter, didn't take him off. Harvey given away, a very important part of the game, off the ground.
It's a two-edged sword, though. Makes the point. Will it hurt them? Jason Johnson threw himself in. Davey went after it. Watson emerges with the football. They back off him 70 metres out. Sets it high towards Lucas. But he's taken the mark. He'll line up at number 5 from 40.
Great play there by Watson. He was going to give it over the top. He got the call, but he could see the play unfolding. He went back and just put it up. They've got a bit of a box on behind the play between Edwards and McPhee. But, gee, you don't get bigger kicks than this. And you said it, Bruce, if he kicks 5, he's got Gibson.
Well, their 3rd game in 13 days, the Kangaroos. Maybe, just maybe, it's starting to tell. Lucas trying to work it back right to left. It doesn't. It holds its line.
Oh.
They creep closer. Still ample time. 10.5 minutes to play. The margin 22 points. It was 30 at three-quarter time.
4 goals for to Lucas. Archer just bangs long.
Oh,
good mark, Simpson.
Gee, he's a wonderful player in really tight situations.
Well, he's playing his 249th and Hooley playing his first, and they were head-to-head in that duel. Hale, slow, but got the kick away. Hooley to run him down. McPhee's had an average old night. Johnson, Hurd, a lot of possessions. Ryder and Simpson, who did just that to Ryder. And then Davey, who's been so important in this last quarter, brought down no free kick. Simpson runs it out. Only once has Kevin Sheedy come from more than 30 points behind at three-quarter time in his career. And you've got to go back to 1992 against the Demons.
And I played that day, Bruce. We're 47 points up. Gee, they were lucky.
Rawlings from centre wing.
Got it from Ferrito. Kicks inside the forward 50. Fletcher waits at the back. A very high kick back towards the wing. Ferrito came again. Offhand, Swallow took his eye off the football. The hand pass came out quickly from Watson. Under pressure, the kick was scrambled forward by Hurd. This is Ryder. Love it. He can run at them. That's the instruction. Stanton, he was coming on the angle. Up was Lucas and missed it. Gibson gets a hand pass away. Simpson, Archer. Dragged down, well, almost getting a hand to him, Montfries, but a lucky bounce comes to Grimmer. Grimmer alongside the centre circles to half forward, pushing the back. Oh, McPhee has had a tough night at the office. Aaron Edwards right on the 50. And Dave, too far out, you'd suggest? The answer is yes. He drives it down towards the pocket. Petrie was up. Grant tried to get it through. In the opposite direction, McVeigh. Hurd, nicely worked, comes to Ryder. James Hurd keeping his cool. Ageless but aging. Courtney Johns on the other side.
I think the Ox swallowed his whistle a moment ago with you, don't you?
Still thinking about that Melbourne defeat.
Brought back a lot of bad memories, Bruce.
Gee, Stanton's been good.
Oh, he's been excellent.
Love it running for him. Stanton to the pocket. Gibson. Oh, Smith missed it.
Oh, no.
Harvey getting back. Smith to Gibson to Harvey. Kangas under pressure. Harvey running it and running it hard. A bounce. Does he take Winderlick on? No, he goes to half forward. Well played, Harvey. Edwards and McPhee. McPhee's just had an average old night. The handball to space. And finds the line.
Alvin David coming off. He's kicked 2 goals in the last quarter, but he's officially out of petrol.
So a little guy for a big guy because Laycock's coming on for Davey.
So Dean
and
looks set.
Hurd off, sorry Dennis, Hurd off as well.
Lately looking set for an easy victory, but things have changed considerably. Here's Harvey once more down towards half forward. Wonderful courage. Mark Johnson got across and slapped it out of bounds. James Hurd with a bit of a limp. Davey tracking him. That's his warm down. A couple of paces. Simpson. Or was it McIntosh who knocked it down? Both of them there. There's Simpson. Onto the crumb. Kicks it down towards full forward. Fletcher. Big fist away. Plenty of Bombers in front of the pack, but the desperation came from Grant. He's over the ball. Dragged down McVeigh. Good tackle applied Petrie. Then we'll have a ball up.
Gee, hasn't the game gone up a couple of notches in the last 5 minutes? I still believe they're a chance here, the Bombers.
And why not? 22 points, 25 disposals, Hurd. He may get one last dip late. Fletcher, McVeigh, just banging and hoping that a Bomber can take it. Archer. Oh. Gee, Montfrey stiff there.
Ouch.
Harvey back to Watt. Watt to centre half forward. It was a good-looking kick, and Hale's done it. It was just the right kick, wasn't it? To the right spot, the right height, and the big guy got it.
Well, McConnell, gee, we're a bit stiff there, Montfrey's, but McConnell was replaced by Hale, and I don't think McConnell would have been able to get to that one.
He's kicked goals too this year, Hale.
His beautiful set shot of goal is David Hale. Hasn't had much of it tonight.
Well, they haven't scored for 15 minutes, the Kangas. They're sitting on a comfortable lead. This makes it cosy if he kicks the goal. 45 metres out. It's straight through the middle.
And as a reward, you come off and big McIntosh will come back on. But that should have been just about a free kick to Montfrey's. His arm was taken. For the Kangaroos, they've been brave. The Bombers keep coming. And there's still time, albeit not much. But the Bombers are still a chance.
One in the...
This bloke has been exceptional too, Andrew Swallow.
One in the first 20 seconds of the match. A free kick from McPhee. Pratt to Sinclair. Kangas continuing to run hard. Jones on a long lead. He kicked a couple of first half goals, Corey Jones.
And Mel Michael just made Jones earn it there.
Remember, the Bombers have not beaten the Kangaroos since they came from 69 points behind round 16, 2001. It has been a long drought.
Well, when that happens, you're not happy.
Jones centering ball. McIntosh laid it down. Petrie squeezes and just misses. And these two teams have played a lot of Friday night footy. And if the Kangaroos hang on, as Petrie just tries to squeeze it through.
A bit of surfing there.
If they hang on, which they surely will, they'll be 12-1 against the Bombers on Friday night football.
Hooley got it out to Jason Johnson. It's amazing how teams tend to dominate other clubs in the competition. No rhyme or reason, really. There's a good mark. Lucas runs back in an open goal. How often do we see that? The check side from about 15 metres on the strange angle.
Well, Bruce, he's had a good night. He's had 5.
It's hard to knock him, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's hard to knock Gibson too, because they have gone at each other.
They've just had so many contested possessions, haven't they? I mean, because he has been their one-trick pony for most of the night.
Yeah, and they stopped going to him there for a while, and they had some scoring options, but he's had to stand up in the last half.
First player so far this season to kick 5 goals or more in 3 matches, Lucas. Loves Telstra Dome, averaging over 5 goals a game in his last 6 matches here. Johnson run down. Got to admire the Kangaroos, but you've got to give something to the Bombers in this last quarter, don't you?
You do. They didn't give up, but it's around those stoppages, and you just had to watch Harris there. And
they're your top 4.
Yeah, I think Harris and Swallow have been superb. Swallow's clearances have been outstanding. Stanton's second half has been wonderful, and Ferrito down back for the whole game. I was going to put Gibson in there, but Ferrito, I think, has been a little bit more polished.
Well, the 3 on top are similar type players, aren't they? Harris, Swallow and Stanton. There is Swallow with Monfries all over him.
Didn't take it. Give it up, thanks. Give him the football on the full now, Andrew.
Well, Dennis, you talked about a window of opportunity for the Kangaroos prior to tonight. It's staring them in the eye right now.
That's right. They've kicked the sucker in. There's Hooley alongside the centre circles. Promising debut. He goes out wide. McPhee inside the 50 and Winderling.
Well, we saw an earlier effort. This is too far.
22 points the margin. Watson. And we spoke about their workload in the last 13 days, the Kangaroos. Reason to be tired, but they've done enough.
And this is probably my 5th best player tonight. He's had a very, very good game, Joe Watson. 31, 11 marks, started on the bench. And he can cap off a pretty good night's work if he can put this through.
Difficult angle. Glenn Archer stands the mark. Watson from 40. Immaculate skills. Well, almost. Didn't quite get the distance. Eventually that kick tapering off, but Johns has taken the mark a metre out. I thought initially and had enough on it. Johns will kick the goal, but too little too late.
We have a look at the missed goals that they've kicked now, or they missed in the first quarter, and the margin only being 16 points. 3 of those 6 that they missed went through. Well, it'll be game on. And you've got to take your opportunities. And as you said before, Bruce, Lucas has missed before when it was really crucial.
Well, he's played all 7 games so far after just playing 13 last year, so that would be a blow. He's been terrific. Wasted a few balls early tonight, but a very good effort. Ferrito's handball to Swallow. A couple of your top 4s, Ox. And then Jones inside. Grant kicked 3 goals in that 3rd quarter. Back. That was Rawlings, I should say. Back from Jones. Boundary throw-in. So last quarter, 5-3 the Bombers. 3-1 the Kangaroos.
Really disappointing for James Hurd. That is to do it in the last couple of minutes.
And what he said will be his last season. What a glorious career. Let's have a look and see what happens to Hurd.
Thanks. Thanks, Andrew.
Well, you can see it go. Dying seconds then on Friday Night Football. A bounce just inside the 50. Hale goes up, slaps it down. Simpson content to run it across the line.
Let's have another look at it here.
Hard to see the hammies from there. But you could see that he was contorted in a direction he didn't intend going. Jones stopped. Swallow takes a dive beside the pack. Dare we say it. And a bounce.
And a great effort by Dean Laidley. Everyone was coming at him before the start of the season, and he's been able to bounce back. And during the season, and he's kept his head. He's got his game plan, and his focus was the players. And all credit's got to go to him and his match committee, who have done a sterling job to get 4 wins in a row.
Hale laid it down at his feet. Comes again. There's a whistle, and it will be a free kick. And it's going the Kangaroos' way. And those players in and under, like Swallow and Harris, have been simply superb.
He's like a young Harris, isn't he, Swallow? The way he goes in and gets it.
Plenty of the football again tonight. It's amazing when a young player gets his confidence and suddenly feels he belongs, how quickly it comes together. Long kick. We're down to 10 seconds. They compete about 20 metres out. And this one is in the book. Clock stops at 5 seconds. Out of there by Fletcher. Disappointing end to what's been a big night for him now. Sinclair has taken the mark. Siren is gone. Kangaroos have won their 4th game on the trot. And Dean Laidley must be cock-a-hoop. Football is very much about what have you done for us lately. Well, in this case, what have you done for us lately? 4 straight and 5 straight against Essendon. Here's Sinclair. From the 50, a little more icing, perhaps. You betcha. How sweet that is. Let's go down to Ricky Olorenshaw with Daniel Harris.
Harrow, 4 wins in a row, the club's flying. Yeah, look, we've been playing well all year, just couldn't get reward, but last 3 weeks and tonight's been fantastic. The boys have really come out hard and it's great to see. Yeah, that midfield's working really well, especially you're the engine. You're really driving it, aren't you? Yeah, look, that's where it was won and lost today. We knew that coming into the game. They've got a very good midfield and, you know, we just concentrate on being harder and lower and the boys did it tonight. All right, mate, go and join your mates. I just want to wish Ronnie McIntosh all the best, mate. He's in hospital at the moment. I hope you get better soon, mate. All right, thanks, mate. Go and join your mates.
Gee, this is a great moment, isn't it? Archer and Hurd. The year that Hurd won the Brownlow, Archer won the Norm Smith medal in '96. That is special. Those two guys.
They led all night long, the Kangaroos, and finally home by 22 points.
They did do a very good job inside 50 there. That's interesting, 57 each, but you would have thought the Kangaroos had taken the ball inside their 50. Uncontested marks. Essendon are the #1 side, as I said at half-time. Contested possessions, well, that evened up over the course of the game too.
So the Kangaroos get home by 22 points.
So join in the chorus and sing it one and all. Join in the chorus, North Melbourne's on the ball. Good old North Melbourne, they're champions, you'll agree. North Melbourne will be premiers, just you wait and see. Hey!
This has been a Fox Sports presentation.